All right, what is good, everybody? My name is O. This is O.knowss, where we talk sports. This is actually my first video. I'm a longtime sports fan. Basketball is my favorite sport. So today we're definitely going to be talking basketball. And what we're going to be talking about is Russell Westbrook has requested a trade out of Houston. This is kind of a big deal. A little bit surprising. He's only in Houston for 1 year. Now let's talk about what that means for Houston, what that means for Westbrook, and what they're going to do going forward. First of all, last night, news broke. Russell Westbrook said that he no longer wanted to be in Houston and requested a trade. His exact quote was he was uneasy about the team's culture and the accountability in Houston, and that's why he requested the trade. He went there to go play with his childhood best friends, James Harden. A lot of people weren't too sure if it was going to work because they're both ball-dominant guards who really need the ball in their hands to do well, and they've had a lot of success over their careers with the balls in their hand. So here's what it is. There's 3 teams that right now have been talked about as having some interest in Westbrook: Charlotte, the Knicks, and the Clippers. Now, as far as Houston, if I'm looking to move Westbrook, I probably want to deal with the Clippers or Charlotte because they have more to offer. The Knicks don't really have, anything. Now, let's talk about what Houston actually had to give up to give Westbrook. So they traded for Westbrook last year. They got Chris Paul. They had to give up 2 first-round picks and agree to swap picks in 2021 and 25 with OKC. The picks that they gave up were the 2024 pick and the 2026 pick. So they gave up 2 first-round picks and they're swapping picks with OKC. If OKC ends up with a better pick, they keep their pick. But if Houston has a better pick, then they get Houston's pick. So they kind of gave up a lot to get him. And this year was their year. And they've kind of been in championship or bust mode for the past 5 years. And this year didn't get it done. So now it's going to be up to Houston to see what they're going to do. Now, if I'm Houston, I'm probably going to want to work with Charlotte because they have young assets that can help build a team. I'm going to ask for Devontae Graham. I'm going to ask for either Miles Bridges or PJ Washington or even maybe Terry Rozier. Also, it makes sense for Jordan, who owns the Charlotte Hornets, to get one of his players. Russell Westbrook is signed with Jordan Brand, so Jordan already likes Westbrook, so now he actually gets him to actually play for his team. Now, with that being said, if I'm Houston, I'm also going to ask for at least 1 first-round pick and at least one of those pick swaps that they did with OKC to kind of make it even and get something back. Now, Russell Westbrook is 32. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Russ. And he's kind of, I guess, an old NBA. Most guys in the league now, they come in at 2021, and so at 32 with a guard who plays as hard as he does, it's probably an older 32, but he's still one of the most explosive, most talented guards in the league. His one detriment is his jump shot. He's never had a consistent jump shot, but it still hasn't stopped him from being one of the best point guards in the league and averaging a triple-double 3 years in a row in OKC. Obviously, the reason why he said he wanted also out was he wanted to be the lead guy, the lead guard, like he was in OKC when he was putting up those huge numbers. Now, to me, is Russell Westbrook a championship player? I don't know. I haven't seen it so far in his career. He played with Kevin Durant, couldn't quite get over the hump. Even though he was very close, almost won a championship in 2012 versus Miami, but they were all very, very young. And then he played with Paul George, couldn't get it done. And then now this past year he played with Harden and still couldn't get it done. So we'll see what that looks like for the next team that he goes to and if they could actually build a championship team around Russell Westbrook. Now, for Charlotte, it makes sense to do the deal because now you have your guy. Out of all those players, none of those guys are superstars. So now you got a superstar who can come in, take control of the franchise, lead it, and kind of go from there. Now, the one detriment that's going to do is you got to give up stuff to get him. So again, Devontae Graham is probably going to have to go. I'm asking for Devontae Graham if I'm Houston. I'm asking for 2 first-round picks. I don't know if you're going to get it. So we're really going to see what is the value of Russell Westbrook. The Clippers have a lot of different good players. Lou Williams, Pat Beverly. So there's a couple different ways that they can go as far as the Clippers. The Knicks are probably the last team that I would want to trade with if I'm Houston. There's really not a lot of players that were picks that I would really want on there. Maybe R.J. Barrett, but that's about it. But as from a Knicks perspective, they've been terrible for years. Bringing in a guy like Russell Westbrook is obviously going to sell seats, but in this COVID world, no fans are going to be in the seats. So for that point, it really doesn't make too much sense. But you still got a superstar who's going to give you everything he's got. Probably not going to win a championship, fighting for an 8th or 7th seed in the East with Russell Westbrook, but it may give you some type of credibility. So if you're the Knicks, you're looking to do that trade. Now, if I'm Houston, if I trade Russell Westbrook, you kind of got to look at trading Harden. You got to blow up the whole thing because they were a 4th or a 5th seed in the West last year with Westbrook and Harden. So if you're trading Westbrook, you're probably not going to be, in that same position. You're probably going to be fighting for a playoff spot in the West because it's so deep. Golden State didn't make it last year. They're probably making the playoffs. The Suns didn't make it last year. They're probably didn't make the playoffs this year. The Memphis Grizzlies didn't make the playoffs. So there's just, in Portland, it was an 8 seed who's going to be better next year. So it's going to be a struggle just for them to really get into the playoffs. And if that's the case, you might as well blow it up. Get rid of Harden too. If I'm them, I'm calling the Sixers. If they're interested in trading Ben Simmons, you build around Ben Simmons, get those picks, and you go from there. Now, Russell Westbrook is 32 again today. He's going to make $41 million this year, $44 the next, and then $47 the year after that, which is a player option for him, which I'm sure he's going to take at age 35 because it wouldn't make any sense because he's not going to be getting those kind of deals anymore. Now, if I'm Russ, the question is, what do I want? Am I looking to just go to a team where I can be the guy, or am I looking to be a championship player? Unfortunately, none of those 3 teams besides the Clippers is going to give him any championship options. And the Clippers probably don't have enough cap room to even try to make that trade unless they're getting rid of a guy like Paul George, which I'm not sure if that's the right move either. So thanks, guys, for listening. This was my first video. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys tell me, where do you think Westbrook should go? What should Houston do as far as making that trade? And then tell me, would you want Westbrook on your team? Again, thanks for watching the video. Until next time, you guys stay safe, and thanks for watching.